again from my bench. Today the vlog will be dealing with why it is important that our precious metals, our fine jewellery, is actually hallmarked according to the fineness of the metal that we're having and we're working with accordingly, okay, according to what fineness it has. So let us start by explaining what fineness is. Fineness is the level of purity in that item that you have in your hand, that you're in. So right now I'm working on a small pendant, okay, has been casted for, so this is metal that I know it's 9 to 5. However, the fact that it doesn't have a hallmark as yet, okay, let's put it that way, because it's still in the process of being, it's being worked upon to actually finally being able to find the place where I'm going to place the hallmark on. I'm still cleaning off the bits, etc. from it. For me to be able to know that I have this as 9 to 5, I have taken a certain amount of pure grams of silver, melted it together with other alloy metals. According to the grams that I had to add the correspondent level of amount of alloy, and from 999, which is the purest form of silver, the pure silver, okay, in Malta we call it tal-ħalib, fidda tal-ħalib, fidda is for silver and ħalib is milk. I guess it comes from the fact that it is actually very, very, very bright white, you know. The silver is the kind of silver is differs a lot from that of stainless steel. Stainless steel is a kind of silver which is dark, it gives that shades, there's reminiscence of black in it, whereas this pure silver gives that white, that has that whiteness about it. Pure silver doesn't tarnish, it becomes yellow over time, maybe a little bit, but it doesn't tarnish. It tarnishes, or we have this problem with maybe tarnishing if the product is not worn or not properly stored, because of the alloy added to that amount of grams of silver that were used. And obviously that alloy, with time, it tarnishes, all right? We know that brass, copper, zinc, they are all metals that tarnish with time. They oxidize is the proper word, and that creates that little bit of no longer sparkly look on your silver, which we refer to as tarnishing. In reality, it's oxidization, okay? Now, after I have done this formula and I got the amount of alloy I need to add and have it melted and then have it casted, then I can hallmark the item accordingly. It is fine to hallmark an item as 9 to 5 when in fact it might be slightly a little bit more than 9 to 5 when you do the formulation. So let's say the fineness came around about 9 to 5.8, okay? The hallmarking is still going to be 9 to 5, not rounded to 9 to 5, 9 to 6, sorry, okay? Reason being is, it's if I were to put it as 9 to 6 on my product, which isn't done, but if I were, then it means that I have those 2.2 millisieverts that are not actually, finally, see how long it takes, that actually the product is not up to that level that I'm indicating. So those are lost. If I were to add them to something else, again, that pot will have a little bit less, depending on the amount, on the grams. When it comes to silver, most of the time the equation is pretty simple, because we're talking almost always between pure silver or sterling silver, which is the 9 to 5 that we know. The pure silver is at the level of millisieverts, so what we referred to in the previous video as the imperial numbers, as 999. Gold also comes. Gold, what we refer to as the 24 karat, okay, is also a 999. The 999 starts to go down as we go down in the level of carat. So if it's 20 carat, 18 carat, 10 carat, 9 carat, 16 carat, etc. So the equation there is simple. 24 carat is 999. 18 carat is that is a very straightforward and simple schismo, and the workings, the answer was already in my previous vlog. And most of the time, as I said, unfortunately, not unfortunately, but most of the time, the items that are produced in certain parts of the world, they would have the millisieverts written on them, the 3-digit number, the imperial number, okay, of the level of purity of gold, of the amount of pure gold in that item. In other countries, they are hallmarked as 18K, etc. legally Malta, the recognized format is actually the 3-digit numbers. I explained in the other video. The laws is very clear about that. And that is the first step. Why are these 3-digit numbers important? Now let's, for example, give you an example, okay? So let's say I have a client, she has 2 items, together they are a total of 10 grams, and these 10 grams are hallmarked at 18 carats. Okay, so they are hallmarked accordingly. Then the same client brought another batch of items, which are 5 items, together I had 20 grams as weight, and they were marked at 10 carat, okay? There are formulas which can help me come up, if I were to mix all these items together, put them in a pot and melt them, there are ways for me to get to know the level of the fineness of that product now, okay, of that melting, of that amount of gold, melted. And the way it is worked out, it gives us an indication of all the items that are going to be produced from that batch of melted gold, the level of fineness that it will have. Obviously, then we have to see under which category they falls. If it's the 24, definitely no, of course. But if it's between 8 and 10, the finesse will be somewhere in the area of 12, 14, 16, definitely not 18, and definitely not 10, okay? So there's a special formula that will give us that. And this is why I was very imperative in my first vlog, and I started with it, that knowing the value of the purity of the metal that you're buying, of the fine jewelry that you're buying, is a very, very important thing, and it's very crucial. The maker's mark will give that extra boost, sort of in terms of security, that that item is actually what it's claiming to be, okay? As I said, we live in a world where knowing is the only way we can protect ourselves. There is a lot of misinformation out there. I'm trying to go slowly in these vlogs so that as I'm building up, if you have questions, you can always, if you have questions, you can always come and ask and learn. Because as I said, I learned through buying items that maybe were not correctly hallmarked and I didn't know, through now myself, through what I have learned throughout my silversmithing journey. And not everybody has maybe the time or luxury to actually go and search online, read reviews, etc. So knowing how to protect yourself and how you can make sure that you're trusting the person and that the person is trustworthy. There are many trustworthy individuals out there, and we cannot say that the world is all wrong. But still, I believe that if you know what you are to be on the lookout for, then yes. I'm not sure if you would be interested in learning how this processes work. It's a very interesting and how do you say? It's a very interesting process. The mathematical ways of working when it comes to downgrading the level. Downgrading is a rough word, but of minimizing the level of millisims of purity in that product, or increasing the level of purity, because yes, you can increase. We will almost never be able to make it again 100% pure, okay? Obviously, because once there's an alloy added, you can never bring the item back to 999. There are then other ways of doing that through certain machinery, and there are places where you can actually take certain jewelry that you have, and if you want it to become pure silver or pure gold, you extract. There is a way, there is a chemical way it can be done, but like no one does it in reality. You know, for us, it's not something that we are on the lookout for. But in other areas, such as the use of gold or silver in chips, microchips, and stuff like that, this process is done. In fact, we talk a lot about recycled silver, recycled gold, and that is one of the ways gold and silver can be from ethical sources, in this case recycling. So this goes to show the importance of having, as I said, your items properly hallmarked, for you to be on the lookout and what to be on the lookout for, and knowing how these things are worked, you can actually be in a better position to ask questions when you feel that something wrong is happening with your item, maybe short after you bought it, etc. So stay tuned for more vlog series, for more videos on my vlog series. I'm hoping to start getting people engaged and ask questions, because that's the idea. It's a learning. I want to build a learning community. And anyway, I'll continue working so that I have these ready. Bye and see you.